Gamers! Whenever I need wood, I've been gathering it from my farm areas and this spot above the mine. And quite frankly, it's pissing me off. I want one cohesive place to chop some bloody wood, mate, and so that's the exact problem we're gonna solve this episode. On top of that, I'm also giving myself the biggest challenge I've had to face yet. Let's get started. For the location, I have something pretty specific in mind. I essentially want one higher area and one lower area separated by a cliff. I have no idea if I'm gonna find something like that close by, so I'll probably end up having to do a bunch of terraforming, but honestly, that's okay with me. While I'm looking for an area, I should also probably reveal the big challenge for this episode. Any item relating to spruce is not getting touched at all. You guys made me cry last episode saying I use spruce too much, so even if my mouse hovers over a piece of spruce wood, I actually don't know what's gonna happen. I'll do a freaking backflip off my house, and if I die, the series is over. So you might be asking yourself, what blocks are you going to use then? You're f***ed. Spruce is all you got, honestly. Firstly, f*** off, you f***ing little shithead. Secondly, there's plenty of other blocks in the sea, including clay, which is actually in the sea, and we can use it to turn it into bricks. A great building block known for its sturdiness and rigidity. Let's go get some. Okay, now with basically almost a full inventory of clay, let's chuck that into our super smelter. Let's get that bad boy filled up. I'm gonna fill all of these buckets up with some lava from our little farm over here. And then we can just go ahead and send our things on their way. And these will all be smelting while I'm doing other things. Oh my god, is that gonna make it? Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, while our stuff is smelting away, I'm gonna be getting the next block here, which is going to be our spruce wood replacement. Honestly, I feel bad even just looking at it. God, you guys have just made me, you know, so aware of my addiction to spruce wood. It's not good. All right, and so our spruce replacement is going to be good old-fashioned oak wood. It's still pretty good. Honestly, not as good and versatile as spruce in my opinion. It's a lot more of a pain in the ass to harvest as well because, you know, massive tree over there, little trees over here. It's just a pain in the ass. But, you know, we're branching out of our comfort zone out here, okay? So let's go ahead and grab a bunch of oak wood so I don't have to get more while we're building. All right, there's half a forest chopped down and honestly, probably not even enough oak wood for the project, but we'll see how we go. And now it's on to the third item, which you guys did give me a little bit of slack for, but honestly, I just don't care at this point. It's too versatile of a block, and honestly, if you give someone shit for using stone too much, then, you know, just, I think you have your own issues you gotta sort out. But yeah, the item we're getting here is stone, of course. So let's mine out a bunch of it. Tell them that it's human nature, why does it do me that way?
Oh shit, Mikey Jackson!
Okay, honestly, I didn't want to get too much stone because we do actually have a lot at home from previous projects, and I think our location is going to need a little bit of excavating done, and we're probably going to get a bunch of stone from that. And so the problem I'm having is the spot I want is pretty specific, and I want it to be nearby to my base, because if it's too far, I'm honestly not going to be bothered enough to go to it. I'm going to be real with you guys, so it needs to be close by. And yeah, so basically, I want a spot almost exactly like this, and that actually just gave me the idea. Maybe over on this side might be a decent spot. Let's go have a look. Oh, okay. All right, this might work actually. That just gave me goosebumps. I don't know why. Obviously, all down here is filled with water, and yeah, that's gonna be a pain in the ass. We're gonna have to fill probably, honestly, to here, all of this up with dirt, because I do want a lot of space for our trees. So yeah, honestly, I think this location is going to work out perfectly. And so the next thing we're gonna have to do is, yeah, fill up this entire freaking area here with some dirt. So let's get bloody started, mate. Alright gamers, and there it is. There's the completely terraformed area. We've sectioned off this entire place and added all of our dirt in, which is going to give us the absolute perfect location to build exactly what I want in my head. Now with that done, let's go check on our brick smelting operation over here. Hopefully it's all finished. Let's have a look-see. Oh yeah, baby, that's some good stuff. Now let's turn this all into like freaking literally like one stack of bricks, dude. I really wish one stack of bricks gave you one stack of, you know, bricks, but it's just not the way it is, unfortunately. All right, and there is most of our items all sorted out. We've got them all in this chest here, ready to use. And the first thing I want to get started building is our first building, which I'm thinking I want to place right about here. We might actually have to do a little bit more terraforming to this, like, kind of cliff area. I kind of forgot about it. I want to actually pretty it up and make it look super nice before we actually get started on that. So let me do that real quick right now. Okay, gamers, so the terraforming is coming along very nicely. Here is our cliff so far, but we have run into a bit of a problem up here. As you can see, we've excavated and flattened off a bit of an area, but we've run into a roadblock. We have a giant spruce tree here that is in the way, and if you recall my earlier challenge, I'm not allowed to touch a single piece of spruce wood in this episode. And so my idea to clear this out is we're going to completely fill up my inventory with dirt blocks like this so that I can't pick up any spruce. And then technically, we aren't touching the spruce when we mine it with an axe because, you know, my hands are right here. The axe is an extension of my body, you know, and the axe is technically touching the wood and not me. And even though we are, you know, technically touching the block drops, I'm not picking them up in my inventory. So I think we have successfully, you know, followed the rules here. I don't know why I'm going so like crazy on these rules, but I don't want to break my rules, okay? So I'm going to get rid of this entire tree. I'm going to let all of these blocks despawn and we're not going to touch them at all. I'm not even going to pick them up and take them for like a future project, you know? That's how serious I am, okay? About bettering myself and not using spruce wood as a goddamn crutch, okay? So let's clear this out. Once we've cleared out this whole tree, I'm going to keep pushing back this landscape. I'm not going to bother doing a time lapse just because it's the same shit you've already seen, basically. So I'm going to push this back and then we'll actually get started with our first build. And we're back. There's all the spruce wood. We're going to let that despawn. I'm not even going to go near it, okay? Let's start our first building right here. And this is going to be like our wood storage building. So I'm wanting this to be quite large. I want the front to have like 2 big arches where we're going to have like chests and wood and stuff in. So let's start our first pillar right here. I think I want this to be 2 stories tall. So let's figure out the height real quick. Okay, that might be a little too big. That's like comedically large. We might have to shrink that a couple of blocks. But yeah, that's definitely going to take up like the entire area. So we might have to scale that down a little. Okay, that's looking a little better. I might have to move that pillar off to the right a bit more just so it's a little longer. But yeah, I'm going to get all of that done. I'm going to place in all the pillars and I'll meet you guys, you know, back somewhere. I don't know. All right, and we're back with the completed layout here of the warehouse building. So we've got all of the pillars laid out. I figured out the size that I wanted. I'm happy with this. And so let's first start off with actually decorating the walls here. So we're going to have a little side entrance here that's going to be kind of like a back alley little entrance because we've got to snake through this blacksmith building. And then these big front open parts are going to be like kind of these like hanger doors, like arched kind of things. And it's basically just going to be a massive open area inside here. So let's first start off with these walls. Now, for the actual main block, I'm thinking bricks are definitely going to be a nice little kind of detail to add to this. So let's try something like this first off. Just a ring like that, and then we'll have some fences in the middle as our little windows. And then I think something that's actually going to, you know, because right now it is just very flat. We need a little bit of depth added into this. The only depth we have is this little fence. So definitely an easy way to do that is to add our little sticking out knobs. And then at the bottoms, I was thinking I was going to add just another log, but I think something that could look even better is actually some barrels. And I think I might have some over in my house. Give me a goddamn second, I'll be back. All right, we're back with the barrels. Let's go ahead and add some in here. That's not how I wanted to do it. What the hell? There we go, like that. And now my idea is to add a similar detail to this actually down here. So let's actually have some stairs above those and then below our little sticky out bits, and then we'll add some fences between those as well. And yeah, that just adds so much extra depth to this. It just, yeah, I don't know. It just makes it look way better, dude. Let's add it onto the front areas as well. Actually, I don't know how this is going to work because we're not going to have these little cross beams in here. So we might just have to leave that for now. I don't exactly know how we're going to do those. But as for the sides here, we can actually add these in, and we can add it into the back as well because we have the big cross beam here. Oh, what the hell? I don't know what happened to the wandering trader that was here, but his llama's carked it, I guess. What are you doing, bro? What happened to your llamas, man? This guy's just hanging out. I don't know what he's on about. Let's add our same little detail that we've done here to all of these sections at the front. Oh my god, dude, that piece of spruce literally scared the crap out of me. That's how afraid of it I am. Okay, what I think I'm actually gonna do is make this our entrance. It just makes sense. I don't know what I was thinking having that here. It's just weird. I wanted it in the middle, but, you know, it's just going to be way easier having it here. And so, for, like, literally the perfect entrance would be some spruce trapdoors with a door there. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know where I've done this that I could showcase. Yeah, up here on the second level. I'd basically do this exact door right there, but we need to think of something different, okay? I can't use trapdoors because they got freaking giant holes in them and they just look ugly. So we need to think of a different, interesting kind of warehouse barn entrance. Okay, I might have an idea. Some of my, like, brain particles just, fired. I don't know. Let's try something like this, and then let's have these on the other side to look kind of like an open door. Does that look weird? It does, doesn't it? Tell me, just lay it out to me. That looks whack as hell, doesn't it? Honestly, that's not too bad. Is it? It's kind of weird. Let's try adding a little something up here just to like kind of enclose it in a bit. Yeah, that just looks weird. It needs to be like more than just 1 block wide. Maybe let's try this. Does that look weird as well? Honestly, that's not too bad. What if we made this into a slab? We can add a little lantern on that too. It just looks weird how thin it is, but honestly, that's not too bad. We'll leave it like that for now. If I think of something cooler, we'll definitely add that in. But yeah, I'm not too fussed with that at the moment. That's not too bad. Now I'm going to continue adding in our little wall design in here. And I'll probably just add this design into pretty much every single section across here. We'll add another entrance on that side. Now I'll get that done as a time lapse and I'll meet you guys back at the front here because I honestly have no idea how I'm going to do this. So yeah, let's get started on the time lapse. Alright, the first thing I did was just quickly add in the rest of the wall designs for this side wall, and then I started on the shape of the roof, which definitely took more than a few tries to get looking good. Once I'd settled on the shape, I began building all of the trims along with the main portion of the roof. With the roof pretty much done, I continued by filling in these sections along with the rest of the wall details on the other side wall. And with that completed, I moved on to the back wall and completely filled in those walls along with all of the details as well. Okay, it's time to step back and take a look at our build so far, and oh my god, dude, that is looking so good. That looks way better than I thought it would. What the hell? Just like being next to the blacksmith here, like in such close proximity, I don't know why, I just love that. That's the same kind of thing I want with my medieval village that I'm building that we might continue, you know, soon. I've kind of just, you know, been doing other projects, but that's the kind of thing I want to do in my village over there. So yeah, I don't know why, I just love builds being so close together. But yeah, so that's basically all of the walls and the roof done, except for the front wall here. I just don't really know how I'm gonna do this. I want big arches, but I don't want it to look weird. So I think what we might have to do is maybe add a block kind of like here, like bricks, and then do like an arch, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but we can just head up there. Hopefully I have enough bricks left because this is all I got left. But yeah, basically what I'm saying is that we just add an outline of blocks all the way around here and just kind of see how that looks. We're also gonna have to get some slabs and some stairs going. Oh god, hopefully I've left myself with enough bricks there. Crack out the scaffolding and head up here. So let's place in, actually, oh, we're not even gonna be able to use slabs. The hell? Okay, let's maybe try something like that. That's gonna look whack, isn't it? Let's go have a look. Actually, before we go have a look, let's actually just do a different one in this side to save us another goddamn trip. And I don't have enough bricks left. Oh my god. No. Well, I'm gonna have to go get a little bit more clay. Give me a second, I'm gonna get that sorted out, and I'll meet you guys back here when we're looking at both of the different arches. Okay, and there is our 2 different arch designs, and yeah, I think I'm definitely liking the left side a lot more than the right. Yeah, that actually works really well. Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't really look too much like a warehouse like entrance, but honestly, I have no idea what else to do. Yeah, honestly, after thinking it over and looking up some inspiration, I think I'm just gonna settle with this. I think that's the best kind of look that we're gonna get. I was considering maybe changing these blocks to stone, but I think just keeping it brick is going to like keep it nice and uniform, and yeah, it might honestly look weird if we change it to stone. So let's go ahead and fix up this little archway here. Bang and bang. There we go. I'm also going to just continue adding our details up here. I need to add a little sticking out knoblet right there. So let's add that in. There we go. And we also need to place our slabs across here too. And that kind of makes me want to add maybe a lantern here as well. That actually might be a nice little addition. Oh, also underneath these, we need to add our stairs too. Let's grab those out and maybe some fences. I don't know if that's going to look good or not. Should we try it? Let's try connecting these up with fences, and we'll go back down and have a look at it from afar and see if it looks good. Okay, honestly, that is looking pretty cool. I like the unique aspect with these like little thin pillars that we added here. I was considering adding our little sticking out knobs how we have there and putting them there, and then adding that same like stair detail there, but honestly, I think that looks really cool. It's such a like unique look. I don't know what it is about it. It just looks awesome, dude. So I think we're all done for the exterior of this build. It is now time to get onto the inside and start adding the details I want to add. And first up, we of course need a floor. So let's go ahead and remove all of these grass pieces, and I'm going to replace this floor, I think, with a combination of stone and andesite. I think that's going to look the best. So we should have enough stone. I'm probably going to go get some more, and I'll get some andesite while we're at it as well. So let me go get that crap done. I'll get the floor added in, and we'll actually get started adding in the details. So I'll be back in a second. Oh my god, dude. I'm just coming back from a trip from my base, and I just realized we forgot a trapdoor right here on the old farmhouse. And I can't add one in because of my goddamn rules I set this episode. We're going to have to remember to fix that next episode, dude. Make sure you leave a comment to remind me, okay? Or else else I'm gonna forget. Alright, gamers, and we're back with our floor added in. We've got the nice stone and andesite texturing, and now it's time to actually fully furnish this building, which I don't know if I mentioned previously, but this is going to be our storage warehouse for the wood factory. And so I've got a bunch of detailing blocks here that we're going to be using to, you know, make this look like a storage warehouse, I guess. With my first proposed detail to be some, just like a big log pile kind of hanging out in the middle of our hangar door here, and I want another one on this side too. And so I've just went ahead and grabbed some dark oak logs as well, so we're going to use a mixture of both oak and dark oak. Oh, one thing I just realized I forgot that would be pretty nice is some freaking rails. We're going to need those to detail these. God damn it, man. Let me go get some rails real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with a bloody stack of rails here. Let's continue building our little log pile. So there's all the logs added on, and what these rails are for are, of course, you know, just the classic look. We want like some strapped down logs, I guess, and that just works perfectly. The next detail I definitely want to add is going to be some slabs and some campfires. It's just going to elevate the detailing work of our, you know, log pile, and it just makes it look way better. So let's sprinkle a bunch of these around. Can't forget the back, of course. Let's add those in. And maybe even a lantern on top of one, and maybe actually let's strip a couple of logs as well. That could look really cool. Hell yeah, dude. And that is just such a nice little detailed log pile to add. Super simple, adds so much detail. It's just, yeah, it's perfect, man. Now, I'm just going to quickly repeat basically the same deal over on this side as well. So just give me a second. I'll get this done right now. All right, and there it is. There's our completed log piles. I also added some extra details like some chests and a barrel over here as well. I just thought that'd be a nice little addition. Where's our other chest? Yeah, over here. That's pretty, I don't know. That just makes it look even cooler, bro. All right, so the next detail I want to add is going to be some big storage shelves at the back here. And I honestly don't really know how I'm going to do it, but my idea is basically we're going to have the edges of the shelves consist of some closed trapdoors here, and then the actual shelf portion is going to be some slabs. And so maybe let's make them 4 blocks wide so we can fit 2 double chests on these. And then we're going to have to extend these up. I don't know how high. Oh my god, we can go pretty high with this. I did not even realize. Probably go to there. I think that's going to be a good height. God damn it, of course I missed one. Alright, so there's our shelf design. I'm just going to absolutely pump this full of chests and barrels and just, you know, kind of alternate between them to keep it looking nice and lively. Yeah, dude, that is looking so nice, especially with the sun hitting just straight on it, man. That looks awesome. What the hell? And dude, that is such a nice detailed little shelf. I love that. Such like a nice warehouse vibe to it. And now let's get started repeating that pretty much exact same thing over on this side as well. Okay, so there's our 2 shelves, and I think right in the middle here is going to be a very nice spot for a massive barrel pile. So we're just going to make, you know, like a giant, like, I don't know, just pile of barrels. I don't know how else to explain it, honestly. I'm sorry. I tried my best, okay? Brother, man, that is looking so good. Another campfire, bang it on. Hell yeah, this is a nice storage warehouse, but it's actually lacking a little bit of lighting. We've only got a couple of lanterns. We could definitely dangle some from the ceiling, so I'm gonna go get some chains, and I'll be back in a second. All right, and there it is. That is the completed warehouse. I just went and grabbed some iron from the iron farm, made some chains, and chucked some lanterns on those. That is looking so good, man. I love the way this turned out. Super simple, yet super effective, super detailed. I love it, man. It's awesome. And so that basically leads us on to the next building that I want to add up here, and it's going to be over in this area. I'm gonna have to do probably a little bit more terraforming, remove a couple more trees, and kind of plan it out a little, because I actually have no idea how I want it to look and what blocks I'm going to use for it. Okay, trees have been chopped, area has been prepped. It is now time to start building, and I've figured out a block palette that I want to settle on. So let's leave a decent gap between these buildings, maybe like 3 blocks like that. I want to leave a 5 block gap at the front here. I want a nice wide entrance. That's 4 blocks. What am I doing? And then we're going to extend this all the way down here. Okay, I might have lied. The land has not been prepped enough. I'm going to have to do a little more excavating here. Okay, there we go. That should be good enough. Now we're going to continue our pillars over here. And yeah, as you can probably tell, we're making like just a slim rectangular building. And it's not going to be obviously anywhere near as big as our big warehouse over there. And I should probably just reveal this is going to be like the wood cutting area. So these are where all of the logs are going to be, you know, theoretically transported up and into. And from this point in here, they're going to be, you know, cut, turned into planks, and then sent off to our storage warehouse right next to it. You know, that's of course all theoretical. Obviously, you know, we're just doing this to make the area look extra good and super nice. And I lied again. The area has not been prepped enough. Oh my god, dude, what am I doing? Okay, I'm gonna get all this done, and I'll quickly fill out the framework for this building as well, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, and there's our framework laid out. I think we're just gonna transition straight up into the roof here, because I basically just have the exact design in mind that I want, and it's gonna be, of course, my signature curved roof design. I think it's just gonna work too perfectly with this building. So basically, we're just gonna start with slabs here. We're gonna add one more slab and then transition into some stone stairs, and then, you know, do that all the way up to here with a slab at the top. We're gonna repeat this on the back backside, of course. And now along the side, something that's going to look pretty nice is just having a little slab that dips down here on the sides and then covering it up in the middle. I'll drop down so you can actually see what that looks like. I didn't even mean to drop down then, but yeah. So we have that kind of effect. You can even leave this blank here and add like some fences and fence gates across there. That looks good as well. But I've honestly started to like this look, mainly because it's a lot easier to do and it costs a lot less wood. So we're just going to continue this over. I'm going to repeat this on the other side. I'm also going to add a stone slab thing across the top, and then I'm going to fill the rest up maybe with some, probably just oak wood. I think I want this to be a mainly wood build. So let me get all of this crap done and I'll meet you guys back when we're detailing the walls. Okay, there's our roof added on. I've also just gone ahead and added in the floor as well. I decided on some oak this time, which I think is going to fit the theme well. And honestly, for the walls, I think just leaving them completely open like this is going to be the best look for definitely like a, you know, a cutting, sawing shack. I don't know what they're freaking called, man, like a lumber mill or something. But we can still definitely add some details on these, like some stairs. Maybe we can have fences that go all the way down to the bottom. That might look nice for this kind of building. Let's try that out. Okay, there's all those details added in. Now we definitely do need something at the front here, and I think we could probably just do something like this with our fence gates on the sides, a fence in the middle, and slap the old classic lantern right on that bad boy. Hell yeah, dude. And then I think what would also look good is having a lantern dangling from these little beams that I added. Actually, not on there. We're gonna add the same thing on the back here. And now I think in between each of these beams, we could definitely do something like that with some trap diddly doors above and below, of course. Let's just add these on all of these beams here. And yeah, dude, that is looking so good. Honestly, I don't think I want to add any between here. I think it's just going to be too much. I think that is just like the perfect amount of details there for the building. Probably even a little bit too much, but it's fine. It's fine, honestly. Okay, now let's, of course, I forgot to grab the stone cutters. Let me go get those. Jesus Christ, man. What am I doing? Okay, now it is time to add the main detail for this, which is just going to be some more giant log piles with some stone cutters in between them. So I think let's place one here, maybe one in the middle, and then probably just one on this end as well. And then I basically just want to add a whole heap of logs in between these. And then even beside this, I want to add more logs too. I think on this front one, we might actually even add a slab, or actually, oh, what would look even better is an extinguished campfire, because it'll look like, you know, cut logs at the end of the saw thing. You know what I'm trying to do? Yeah, dude, that would look, oh, bro, that looks so freaking good, man. What the hell? Honestly, I think this one in the middle just doesn't really make sense. I kind of just want to fill that in so we can have a big log on the top here. And we can add more cut logs here. We can add maybe an oak slab here too. Actually, that looks kind of weird. And then let's, of course, just decorate the hell out of this with more campfires and more slabs. Okay, and there it is. There's our completed little lumber mill shack wood cutting area. Honestly, I don't know what to call it. It's just the area where the logs theoretically come in, get cut into planks, and then, you know, get shipped off over to the warehouse over yonder. And so one extra little detail I think I want to add up here, the final detail, is going to be some big barrel piles. I've kind of prepped this area, and so let's start it right here. I don't know why, I've just started liking this little decoration. I think it just looks really nice, especially in like these kind of factory style industrial builds. So I want to make like just, yeah, these massive 3x3x3 barrel piles like this, and then maybe finish it off back here with just a 2x2 one like that. And then maybe even in between these, we could just add like some random chests and some more barrels, maybe so like a lantern as well. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And yeah, so that pretty much concludes this entire top section. Or actually, I might have just lied. We do have a couple more things to do, but technically it's for the this intermediary section, the cliff. Because right now, the only way to get up here is by this crappy little grass staircase that I have to jump up to get up. And so yeah, it's finally time to add in an actual staircase up to this area. So I reckon first up, let's start off with some slabs like this, then maybe a couple more slabs here. Or we could even actually make this where we start our staircase right there, and then we can just kind of remove these blocks and then kind of have this just extend all the way down. I reckon it's going to look nice having kind of a foundation of oak planks like this. Yeah, just something like that. That looks so good, man. Now we have just this nice pathway that leads all the way up to our area. I reckon in between here as well, we'll change this into dirt paths to keep it consistent with our area over yonder. And now that actually leads me around to this front area as well. I want to add another staircase. As you can see, I've actually already prepped this area because I did, you know, kind of planned beforehand where I wanted to add this staircase, and that's going to be right here. So let's remove these blocks. I reckon that's going to be our starting point for the staircase. If I can frickin' place it in, god damn it. And then we'll once again have our like foundation of oak wood on the side. It's going to look super nice with that. Like that. There we go. That looks awesome. This is going to extend up to here. I reckon right here we'll add some slabs. And then up here we even have the perfect little spot as well to add some more. And yeah, that's just the perfect little pathway that leads up to our area. We're going to add our same dirt paths in between. And then I reckon we'll add something like this in between these two areas too. Hell yeah, dude. That looks so good. Also, another decoration that's going to look nice is these little lanterns out the front. So I reckon we could add one probably right here as well. And maybe even on this side over here. Heading over to this side as well. Let's add one maybe right here. Hell yeah, dude. That looks awesome. Okay, and so that's pretty much the entire top area all done. Now it's time for this bottom portion, which is of course going to be our tree fields. Okay, so down here for these fields, I'm thinking I'm wanting a, a pretty specific kind of layout for this. I'm wanting some rectangular shaped fields. We might alternate between maybe oak, spruce, and birch between all of them. And I've also pre-prepared a bunch of hoppers. I've got more over here in this chest. Honestly, I think I might have made a little bit too many, but that's okay. We can always use them for future projects. And yeah, so let's head over here and kind of figure out a bit of a layout for them. I reckon we can start our first one right here. Let's maybe try I don't even know how far I want to go with this. Maybe 7 blocks wide. And that looks pretty good for the length. I think that was 13 blocks. Let's just bring this all the way around. And yeah, honestly, I think that's going to be a pretty good size for the field. Let's maybe leave a gap of like 5 between these for the pathway so that we can have our pathway blocks and then we'll start the next field right here. Dude, no way. That actually lined up perfectly with our freaking existing staircase. That is insane. What? And yeah, thankfully that actually does leave a little gap here for a bit of a pathway to kind of snake around these. And yeah, I think that's going to be the perfect layout there. I reckon we'll extend this to the right by 1 more, just like that. And then we can leave another gap of 3 or 5 actually, like that. And we'll start our next fields down that way. Yeah, that's going to be perfect. I'll get all of that done as a time lapse, but we'll just come back here to the first field and we'll kind of figure out exactly how we're going to lay this out. Okay, so I'm thinking a ring of oak slabs around these is going to look really good. Now I've grabbed my oak saplings and thankfully these can grow really close together. I'm pretty sure they can even grow exactly like that, but we're going to leave a little bit of a gap between each of them, just 1 block, and we'll just kind of place it in a grid fashion like that. Now the next thing I want to do is actually replace all of these grass blocks in here with some hoppers. The reason I want hoppers is so that I can basically stop having to freaking stand around the tree and collect the saplings, which takes absolutely forever. And instead I can literally just harvest all the wood I want, walk away, and most of the saplings are going to drop into the hoppers and get collected into some chests. And speaking of which, I think the chests, a perfect spot might be right here. We'll remove that, place in our chest right there, and then we'll have our hoppers kind of all just leading into that. So let's just make these massive rows of hoppers here. They're all going to be pointing back in towards that chest there. And yeah, there we go. So that's the basic idea there for the field. So once a tree grows, I'll just be able to chop it down. There's going to be some saplings and stuff that falls outside, but honestly, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Most of it's going to get caught by these hoppers and then sent into the chest. And yeah, I think that is going to be an awesome layout. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is just fill out the rest of all of these fields. I might kind of play around with the positioning a little bit. I'm not exactly sure if this is how I want it, but yeah, I'm going to get all of that done as a time lapse. So let's get started right now. First off, I moved on to our second field here, which I decided on planting some spruce in. I filled it up with hoppers and continued to the third field, which I decided on using birch wood in, just to keep each field different, even though I'll probably never use birch. As for the rest of the fields, I just used another lot of oak, spruce, and birch to keep it varied, and honestly, it's because I couldn't think of another tree to use. To finish it off, I shoveled in all the dirt paths around each field and around the outsides too. All right, and there it is. There's our tree field coming along nicely. An extra little detail I added in was these little light posts around every single field here, just to brighten up the surrounding area. And yeah, dude, this is looking so good, man. I love the way this turned out. But the next thing we're definitely going to need is a bunch of details along the sides of all of these, because right now it is just very plain. So I think the first detail along at the front here is going to be, of course, another log pile. You guessed it. It is a wood factory after all. What is it going to be without a couple of log piles around the place? So let's bang in a bunch of these. Starting off with our first one right here. Let's get in just a bunch of logs placed in. Of course, we're going to add our rails at the ends just to make it look like it's tied down, and then we're going to just grab out the campfires and the slabs and add a bunch of these everywhere. All right, so that's a pretty good looking log pile right there, if I don't say so myself. Let's add a lantern on that too. The next detail I think is going to look awesome is going to be another one of our signature barrel piles, similar to up there. So let's start it off maybe right here with just a 2x2 one, and then maybe let's over here transition into a 3x3 one. I don't know what it is about this detail. It just looks so like industrial, like just this massive storage pile. It's like, I don't know, like the logs are being stored in there or something. I just think it's a cool idea, cool detail. Maybe over here we can add just like some scattered chests and barrels. Let's try something like that. So let's go maybe a double chest here. Let's go a barrel, maybe another couple of barrels. Maybe even have a bit of a scattered pathway that goes throughout this too. Okay, next up in this area, it is very bland, very plain. So I think, you know, what we're definitely going to need in here is another log pile. But before we do that, let's actually add in some more just like barrels and stuff. Just like, yeah, just a massive pile of barrels, man. Honestly, I might be going overboard on the barrels. I think maybe next episode we need to do like a freaking, instead of no spruce, we're going to do no barrels and chests. I don't know, dude. I'm kind of obsessed with them at the moment. Maybe it's because it's the closest thing I can get to spruce at the moment. It is very close to spruce. Okay, I'm going to bang in another log pile or two right here. And yeah, just give me a second. All right, so there's that area filled in. We've got another log pile going. We've got our barrels and chests and everything there. That is looking pretty sweet. The next course of action, I reckon, is going to be linking this pathway up here over to our existing pathway. And so what could be a pretty cool way to transition it from a 1 block to a 3 block is maybe let's start it right here. And then at this point, we'll just go into a 3 block wide one. And I think that looks pretty cool. It just kind of slowly transitions from a 1 block to a 3 block. And then right here, we'll add in our oak slabs as a little staircase. And then let's extend this all the way out to those slabs as well. Hell yeah. And that reminds me, we actually need to connect up this pathway as well. So let's maybe just do something like this. Maybe a 2 block wide path would look nice here. And yeah, just over to there, connect it up to the stone and then up to our little pathway here. All right, next, this spot right here could definitely use yet another barrel pile. It's kind of getting ridiculous at this point, but it is just such a nice detail to add. Now, I think a couple more lampposts maybe along these pathways would look nice too. And now right here, oh, dude, what could we add? I don't know. Is like a little bench gonna look weird maybe? Oh, I don't know. And yeah, that looks pretty cool. Just like a nice little like waiting bench. I don't know. Like maybe it's like a break area for the theoretical workers of this freaking tree field. But hell yeah, dude, this area is looking amazing. I've got to say, this is probably one of my better builds in this series so far, man. Just the combination of these awesome buildings. It just looks so good, dude. I love it. And to top it all off, we didn't use a single piece of spruce wood, my crutch. And yeah, I think this has definitely got to be one of my better builds. And we just didn't use spruce at all. And I'm honestly, I'm proud of myself, okay? Be sure to leave a comment congratulating me on how good of a job I did. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But yeah, so that's just about gonna conclude our massive new wood factory build. But yeah, so if you want to download this entire build for yourself, along with any other build I've created so far in this series, be sure to check out my Patreon as I've got the download over there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.